How to manage your money when you don't have any. Welcome to Bookshare Audio. Today's reflection explores one of the most practical and empathetic guides on personal finance. An honest, grounded conversation about surviving and rebuilding in times when money feels impossibly scarce. This work is not about wealth accumulation or investment jargon. It is about redefining how we think about money, changing our beliefs about success, and reclaiming a sense of control when financial life seems beyond repair. The core idea begins with understanding that personal financial stability has less to do with how much one earns and far more to do with what one believes about money. When people are taught to measure worth through possessions, debt becomes invisible until it turns suffocating. Changing behavior without changing belief is like dieting without changing how one views food. It brings temporary results, but the cycle of loss and frustration quickly returns. True transformation comes when an individual realizes that peace of mind is not born from luxury, but from clarity, control, and self-respect. The modern financial struggle is not only economic, but deeply cultural. For decades, society has equated success with abundance, measured not by freedom from want, but by the ability to have everything one desires. This distortion of the American dream has turned necessity into afterthought. Advertisers and lenders feed the cycle, persuading people that happiness lies in ownership. Yet behind every product sold is a company whose primary mission is not the well-being of the buyer, but survival through profit. The consumer, mistaking marketing for meaning, trades freedom for temporary satisfaction. The message here is clear. The moment you stop letting someone else define what you need, you reclaim your power. At the heart of financial chaos lies belief. Belief that debt is normal, that luxury is deserved, and that expending equates to living fully. History shows debt has always existed, but never has it been celebrated so openly. What used to be a last resort has become a way of life. The danger is not simply owing money. It is the normalization of dependence. Many are trapped not because they are irresponsible, but because they have inherited a cultural script that rewards consumption and disguises enslavement as progress. Recognizing this truth allows one to see that every purchase, every loan, every swipe of a card is a declaration of values. To change course, one must start not with budgeting apps or spreadsheets, but with introspection. Observe where your money goes, not to shame yourself, but to understand yourself. Each expense reveals an emotional pattern: comfort, fear, desire, status. Awareness breaks denial, and forgiveness clears the path for change. The process is not about guilt, but about courage. Courage to admit mistakes, to grieve lost opportunities, and to accept that no one else will save your financial life but you. Financial suffering, despite its isolation, is universal. Across all levels of wealth, the stories repeat. People earn more, spend more, and remain anxious. The problem is systemic, but solvable at the personal level. Stability begins when we redefine success as the ability to meet needs consistently, not to impress others. It begins when the goal shifts from financial freedom to financial stability. Freedom often suggests limitless acquisition. Stability means safety, sufficiency, and dignity. It is not glamorous, but it is sustainable. A powerful illustration of this truth compares two lives: a high-earning dentist living the so-called dream and a modest receptionist living within her means. On paper, the dentist's income eclipses the receptionist's, yet when crisis strikes, the roles reverse. The dentist, burdened by mortgages, loans, and lifestyle inflation, faces ruin when income drops. The receptionist, cautious, grounded, and debt-averse, endures hardship with less fear. This contrast dismantles the myth that wealth equals security. True wealth is not how much you make, it is how little you need to feel safe. Beneath every financial plan lies morality, not in the religious sense, but as a mirror of values. Money is condensed labor, the stored energy of one's time and effort. How it is spent is a moral choice that reveals priorities. Every dollar placed toward comfort or vanity is a statement of what one truly honors. This perspective challenges the illusion that spending defines identity. Instead, it insists that restraint and purpose reflect character. Learning to spend consciously transforms money from a source of anxiety into a tool of alignment with one's values. Yet this journey demands honesty about emotion. Guilt and shame paralyze more people than debt itself. Many avoid their bank statements not because they cannot pay, but because they cannot face the reflection of their choices. Healing starts with acceptance, forgiving oneself, accepting imperfection, and learning from the discomfort rather than escaping it. From that acceptance grows resilience, the ability to live simply, save small amounts, and build habits that compound into strength. The larger economic system will not change overnight, but individuals can. The path begins by crafting a personal mission to secure basic needs now and in the future. From that mission flow strategies, living debt-free when possible, saving before spending, and building a cushion for emergencies. Tactics, budgeting, cutting expenses, prioritizing essentials serve those strategies. Confusing tactics with strategy, as many do, leads to frustration. A budget without a vision feels like punishment. A plan guided by purpose feels like a liberation. In essence, financial healing is not about mathematics, but about meaning. It asks each person to define what enough truly means. When one stops chasing the illusion of having it all, peace replaces pressure. Living below one's means becomes not deprivation, but strength. Savings become not hoarding, but self-respect. Debt avoidance becomes not fear, but wisdom. The reward is not wealth in the conventional sense. It is freedom from dependence, from panic, from the endless noise of wanting more. This reflection reminds us that prosperity is not a number. It is a mindset grounded in gratitude, discipline, and clarity. Even without abundance, one can cultivate security by aligning money with purpose. Change your beliefs and your behavior will follow. Change your habits and your life will stabilize. Change what you consume and you change who you become. Prepared by Bookshare Audio. Thank you.